Hi guys, my name is Ryan Henderson and I am a tutor at Phoenix Financial Training in Dubai. This is the second batch of videos following on from the topic reviews that we went through in the first video with regards to Taxation UK. Now, what I'm now going to do in these three separate recordings is go through three critical exam questions or three critical past exam questions and go through what is expected and the main topic areas that will or would come up in those style of questions for you. Now, before we do get into the questions, what I'm on here is the ACCA website. Now, what you can see here, we're on the Tax UK paper past exams. Now, I'm going to go through three past paper exam questions with you, which are here in PDF form. Now, what you need to remember is with these past paper exam questions on the PDF site or on the ACCA site here, is that some of these questions will not be relevant to your existing Finance Act. So you just need to be very, very careful here that they all relate to Finance Act 2019. But the question that I want to go through with you today in this recording is actually from March and June 2016 paper. So what I have done, because this is previous Finance Act, what I've done is I've written up the question and changed it to the correct Finance Act 2019. Now, if you are studying and you have an exam kit, then this exam kit should, or this question, sorry, should be in any exam kit that you are practicing as it is a past exam. And the question is called patience. If you don't have access to the past exam, then what you would best to do now is pause the video here and have a quick read through the question before I then do the debrief. So pause the video for this first bit. And I'll keep scrolling down and you can get on to the rest. And then on the next page we have the requirements. And as you can see, this is a 15-mark question. Now, again, because this is not on the ACCA's website as an updated Finance Act question, what you can still do is practice these past exam questions on the CBE platform. So you need to go onto the ACCA website, under taxation, under CBE specimen exams, and then if you scroll down to your resources, choose your version, which would be UK from my situation, and you've got three options here. You've got a constructed response workspace. Now, your constructed response workspace is basically a blank workspace which allows you to practice other questions which aren't available on the ACCA website, and therefore you can practice them on the CBE software and how you would expect to see that then in your exam. Now, normally the question, of course, would appear on the left-hand side. You're then going to answer your question here on the right-hand side of the question or of the screen. Now, I've already written up my answer, so my answer is already written up under Excel. And then what, of course, we'll do is quickly read the requirements and then start going through this question. So the requirement is saying, calculate Patience's income tax and capital gains tax liabilities for tax year 1920. So this question is actually bringing in here, guys, two different types of taxes that would be paid by an individual. So you've got quite a lot of information that you need to take in. Now, as I said, I'm not going to read through the question in full. You would have already done that, but just to give you an idea of what is covered here. You've got here employment income. Now, under the employment income, lots of different areas that you need to go through and different things. You've also got self-employment income. You've got pension contributions, you've got pension income, and you've got property income. Now, of course, all of the other information that is going on with regards to that is within those detailed areas. Never occupied these properties as main residence. calculate the liability. So as a student, I'm looking at this thinking, okay, there's quite a lot to do here. And a student can expect this amount of different topic areas to come up in one question. So what you need to make sure you are doing as a student is not panicking and starting working through everything all in one go. What you need to do is break these questions down and make sure you deal with each bit separately. So I know that I have to put together a liability from an income tax point of view and a capital gains tax point of view. So what I would therefore do is start off by putting together my income tax computation there. Income tax computation is going to cover all of my incomes. And from this, I gathered I had employment income, I had trading income, I had pension income, and also some property income. This would give me my total income, personal allowances, resulting then of course in taxable income. So this is my starting point. I need to have some sort of computation where I can slot in my finished numbers. Now you can see here what I've got is different workings for all of the different types of income, because I need to compartmentalize these. I need to break them down and deal with each one separately, bit by bit. So I can see I've got employment income, salary, and any benefits. I've just put in red here, just a little bit of explanation. You don't need to write that up, of course, in your exam. Then I've taken the total figure across. I had some trading income. Trading income is, of course, from your sole trader business. I've calculated my profits. And from this, I also did have some capital allowances, which I also did in a separate computation there. So as you can see here, guys, yes, there's lots of information, but gradually what I'm doing is building the question bit by bit and then dealing with each part separately, which is very, very important in the exam. Then, of course, I've taken my trading income back into my computation. Pension income was relatively straightforward. And then I have my property income. Again, property income would require calculation. So I did my property income there. Income minus expense. Deducted my personal allowances, calculated my taxable income as requested. Now, I then have my income tax liability to do. This is what it was asking for. So I'll obviously extend my bands here because we had a personal pension contribution, and then I dealt with it dealing with my tax liabilities with the basic rate and the higher rate. Now, I know this recording isn't about exam technique. Of course, there is always some element of exam technique, but this question is aimed at showing you your approach, because with taxation, guys, you are going to have, in a bigger section C question, lots of different elements coming into a question, and you need to know, of course, how to deal with it. And what you would do is deal with each bit separately to make sure, of course, that you do get through these in the exam. The next part was calculating your capital gains computation. There were some capital gains. There was disposals of properties. So you had your proceeds minus your costs, then of course resulting in your CGT liability there. Now you have to keep this separately because it is a separate tax. You don't link your income tax and you don't link your capital gains tax together. Hopefully the approach here, guys, to this style of question is useful, and just note that with taxation, yes, you are expected to have lots of different areas coming into one question, so you need to make sure you are very confident with the rules for each area, because you haven't really got time to think about it in the exam. It's just a case of putting the information in, putting the rules in, and moving then on to the next part there. Good luck with your exam, and I hope you found this video very useful.